Even in longer games, you can have big turnarounds. It's a very fragile matchup. So I'm kind of believing in the upset. Why not? Let's give it up for the boy who's going to win it all. The bottom right side. It's time.
And spawning over on the northwesternly side of Death Aura, it is INnoVation. Now, both of these guys have got to see the other one in TVT so far against Special. And if there's anything that can be said, it's Time has been going for the Barracks first double gas build every game thus far. Now, is this a moment that he's going to mix it up immediately with this? It is. I like that choice by him. We've seen a few players, I mean, Raynor especially today, where he was like, you know what? I'm going to showcase this build and I'm going to do something else entirely. So it definitely shows that a lot of these players know their opponent's going to be looking at stuff and kind of doing mistells, misreads, you know, giving away false information and stuff, or just working with the information that they're actually giving away.
Yeah, I think it's really smart as well, because if we've saw that Special can, you know, Special showed us you can defend with this kind of build, right? You can already see INnoVation is going to come across in Scout, so good info at least to know that Time is expanding, but at the end of the day, an expansion's an expansion. He's going to go up into the main, and the SCV is there to put the CC down. He's got another SCV here to fight that one off, so Time's able to get it down, and yeah, I really like it. Switch it up a little bit. Now INnoVation's got to decide, like, do I go very aggressive against this, or do I just settle for a later expansion? And which he is going to do. He's going to get the expansion as soon as he's pulled out of gas. So he'll just be naturally a couple of workers behind, and let's see what he does with the Reaper count, and let's see if he can maybe get some damage done there.
Yeah, this is where things are definitely divvying up, because INnoVation is going to have a much faster factory, definitely a later expansion, and we talk about the strengths and weaknesses of both builds, like one slightly more economic and one slightly more tech advanced. Both players doing all the correct stuff, though, on both their sides of the map. Oh, this Reaper from INnoVation was definitely a bit ballsy, but beautiful grenade right there to stop Time from being able to continuously chase and get that Reaper.
Yeah, but obviously, anytime you pick up a Reaper early, it can be pretty influential. It's so important that Time stays safe, though. One Reaper, one Marine, and now the Reactor on the way, so a little greedy out of Time, but it looks like it's going to pay off for him, and he even has down on the low ground the bunker as well, just in case it is needed, so looks as though he's going to be doing okay.
Yeah, certainly. Oh, he's actually going for the Reactor on the factory as well, which I like that. So getting out a few Hellions very fast. This is again a mix-up. We haven't seen this variation, but this definitely throws a bit of a spanner in the works if you are INnoVation that goes for, let's say you're going for 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion. Having out a lot of Hellions very quickly can definitely shut that kind of stuff down. So Time's playing very safe this game, as opposed to the series against Special, where he was rather crazy and rather, volatile.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of approach, isn't it? It's interesting how, obviously, I feel like these guys obviously play each other a lot on the ladder and so on. So they probably, Time probably knows, like, against INnoVation, I have better success sitting back a little bit. My aggressive attacks don't usually do as well. As he gets a lot of Hellions up here, now in a double Widowmine. This is a very wonky build.
Yeah, wonky to say the least. Like the 4 Hellions, okay, that's that's a path you can go down. 2 Widowmines as well, though. This tank attack with the medevac, and INnoVation's getting another tank immediately after this, so like completely skipping out Cyclones. He's looking to deal a lot of damage very quickly, and Time used his starport to get out a Raven as opposed to anything else. INnoVation sees where this Widowmine is placed as well. This is definitely a spicy way to start off the game.
He's just going to fly to the main base. Like, everything from Time just moved out. Unloading the main. I like that he doesn't siege, because, of course, the Raven is sitting on an auto turret, and he doesn't want to fight that auto turret once it comes down. As soon as it goes down, he's going to lift up and go elsewhere. He flies into the Widowmine, and it kills the medevac, and now the tank will go down.
Oh my goodness, that Widowmine was so well hit by Time. The Reapers, they did more damage than the drop pretty much. And Time, he holds this pretty darn well. INnoVation's no slouch when it comes to producing SCVs, though, and he has, equalized that count. But, man, Time defended that about as well as you can with the cheeky double Widowmine follow-up to the 4 Hellion build.
Wow. It was weird, but it worked. I never thought I'd see I wouldn't mind defending the tank drop. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it all makes sense now, right? Like that was beautifully done. It was almost like a bit of a bait to get that medevac in his main base like he did, revealing one Widow Mine on the low ground. No way is there going to be another Widow Mine, right? But there absolutely was. These Reapers are in a kind of nice location here, and whoop, they just kind of know the timing to run in. Going to get a few SCVs killed, and this is gnarly if you're Time, because everything's gone pretty well for you thus far. And this is not what you really want happening. Even the grenade getting an SCV kill there. That was nice by INnoVation.
Yeah, 3 SCVs go down. You slow the command center in the barracks by a little bit. Those are the sort of things that you didn't really need to deal with in this. But the Reapers get in, and INnoVation maybe ekes out a little bit of an edge once again as this Widow Mine tries to walk into the natural. No success there. There's a tank in position. As INnoVation is coming down the right side of the map, has good Raven energy, couple of tanks in tow. If he can get himself in the right position, sieged up, there is some potential. Vikings on the way out on either side. 2 already out from Time. He should be okay to push this back, I would say.
He should. I'm a little bit scared in the sense that he's got significantly less tanks, right? So that's definitely worrisome. What's going to fly over this Widow Mine? Oh, no, it's just a Marine wandering by. So that is revealed now. Does INnoVation land his Vikings to deal with it? Yes, he will.
It's kind of bad, right? Time is way... I mean, okay, Time's going to get back into position, but he was way out of position if INnoVation had taken a little bit more of a aggressive stance. Well, Time's just going to walk into this. Auto turret's going down. INnoVation doesn't do anything with his Ravens. He's going to lose both of them without getting a single cast off. What is it with Ravens not doing much in fights on this ramp?
I have no idea, but that spot in particular, INnoVation has died twice there in pretty much the same way in 2 different series, and Time takes a pretty monumental lead here. He is down in SCVs comparative to INnoVation, but man, he slaughtered that fight.
Down in SCVs, but in a realistic position to come across the map, and with the army advantage, to at least trade out for SCVs to get back in this, right? So let's see what he can do. You mentioned in the earlier series so much about TVT is knowing which advantage you have to play with. All right, now Time's advantage is the army, and he's going to go for it. He's still got Raven energy. Auto turret will go down, make that 2, and he's going to start busting down the siege tanks here. He has the Viking control as well. INnoVation's third does not really look like it's holdable.
It does not. Time eking out a 40 supply lead and growing, and GG. Time takes the first game of the series. Wardy, you know, TVT no longer is it sitting back and just waiting and hoping and praying. It is all about getting in your opponent's face and dealing damage. And Time, he was quicker to the punch with those Ravens, man. And that really sealed the win for him.
Yeah, those Ravens, I mean, the comparison between the 2 of them, what the Ravens achieved versus what they didn't achieve, incredible. And that fight was just so one-sided. INnoVation had no way to turn it around back at home. He couldn't find a defense. He couldn't hold on. There was just nothing for him. So Time just walks up, wins out, and now we go to Submarine, which is a very small, very aggressive map. And there is no room for error here for INnoVation. If you make one slight misclick, one slight misplay, you can just be caught out of position. Terrans get sieged up in your main, and you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, this is do or die now. Like, it's the best of 3 to stay in. He's already 1 map down. Time has showcased that he is no slouch in TVT, actually. And Time, he did something that he didn't do in the previous series at all. He actually opened up with an expansion build, which is really, really cool. Obviously, the Widow Mine was fortunate, but it was well managed by Time as well. I'm appreciating Time's play more and more as this day goes by, and he absolutely is a great Terran, because that game, like, we saw how easily INnoVation dismantled Special. For this game to go like that, you give Time like a finger, he's going to take your whole arm.
Not just your hand, like your whole arm.
Your whole arm, mate. It was bloody Kevin. You know Rotterdam? Oh, of course you know Kevin.
I do know Roddy. I've heard of him before.
He said something like this. He was like, give him a finger, they'll take your hand or something. And I was like, take a hand, take an arm. And I was like, what the hell, Kevin? That saying is so messed up in Holland. Anyway, we're getting on to the second game of this series. And spawning over in the bottom right-hand side, currently 1-0 up, it is Time.
In the top left-hand side, our blue Terran player, INnoVation. I don't know if you've got the correct UI on, Ben, but on the UI that's going out to the stream, I love how the Kaiser Gaming logo combines between the two to make like the mega lightning bolt.
Actually, I'm still using that overlay that I got from you from the War Chest Team League. So I have really weird logos on absolutely everybody, you know. But yeah, I see it on the PCP jobby. Oh, INnoVation. So he's opting for the double gas, and yet again, I feel a lot of that game he could probably attribute to, you know, the Widowmine just being a bit too leery with his medevac early on and stuff, like, and also the Ravens. Like, a lot of that getting the turrets down is about your Ravens not being in the correct location.
Yeah, no, Raven position's a huge thing in TVT. We often talk about like the Raven flank sort of to get around Vikings and so on. But this is just Ravens not ready. It's almost like INnoVation. Like, he set up passively to deny the third, and he was almost like, right, Time's never going to run into me, right? And then Time's like, oh, an army. See you later, mate. And it kind of made no sense because it's 3 tanks. But then when you get the jump, you can walk into 3 siege tanks because the Ravens overweigh the siege advantage. Yeah,
and the longer the Ravens are out as well, like, every turret that's available is such a big deal. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Like, each turret, it's got like 150 health, which is pretty significant. That takes quite a few shots to get it down for an army. And then you've got the 18 damage per hit as well. Like, they're not the 24 damage turrets they used to be, but they're still pretty damn strong. So having 2 units that can plop down 6 turrets between them compared to 0, yeah, that was definitely a massive blunder for INnoVation. It also feels like the turret cast range is really, really small. And Time obviously getting the pounce there is a bit more ready for getting the pounce. And the Ravens being on the move, they were just ready to throw down turrets right on the front line.
Yeah. This is an expansion again on Submarine. I don't really expect it, right? Because I feel like it gives INnoVation that little bit of a leg up when it gets to getting the tech out. And I feel like the tech can do so much, so many dangerous positions on this map, as I keep alluding to. So a little worried to see how Time gets around this or how he survives safely. We'll see what his plan is.
Yeah, like that bunker seen at the front. Well, you've got the choice to go jump up in the main now or kind of wrap around the bunker and go into the natural another way. He chooses to go here, tries to take out the Marine first, which he does. Nice move, and he's here to stay by the looks of it. And this is kind of... both microing their little hearts out, but... I gotta say, this is why you don't tend to go for the expansion builds on this map Submarine. Ooh, yeah, nice pickoff, though.
I feel like this should have been 3 SCVs killed, only 2. I want to say it doesn't really make up for it, right? But it could have been worse for Time, perhaps, even. So makes up for it a little bit. Really bought a lot of time with the Reaper in the main initially, because if he didn't do that downsing, then INnoVation's Reapers get the kill much more easily. They get down in the natural, and then they get every SCV in the natural before the Hellions out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It may not sound like much either, getting 1 Reaper kill, but on this map in particular, if you're doing that tank drop, which INnoVation's going for, you get into the main, you need all your units to deal with that, and then your 2 Reapers specifically can hop into the natural and deal quite a bit of damage. But now, I mean, that damage is absolutely halved. So yeah, this kind of 2-pronged attack that you wanted to go for, it's a little bit worse. Oh, this is going to get spicy, Wardy.
Oh no. Well, it's interesting because they're going to fly into each other, so Time could maybe turn back around. He will not. Okay, well, this is just going to get very weird very quickly. Cyclone on the way from Time, but that's going to take a long time to get up. It feels like INnoVation should already have units up at home to defend this as he just starts to pick away at SCVs. A lot of them starting to go down already, and, well, that's a massacre. And they're the units in position to defend because he just got set up much faster. He gets the tank kill, but 10 SCVs down, and there's still a few Marines to work with.
Yeah, this drop does move itself into the main, which is nice. That Widowmine goes off on a few SCVs here. This is getting spicy right away.
Yeah?
And Time actually has a lot of Marines in a really good location here.
Oh my god, he's actually getting so much done. I never imagined it when this started out that he was going to be able to get anywhere near this amount of damage, but 13 SCVs in return? I honestly was not expecting that at all. And he gets out with the medevac and these Marines. I actually think that's kind of important to note because INnoVation lost everything he took across the map, and overall, Time has traded way better than INnoVation and now has a work elite.
Yeah, that was... I thought Time was down and out, honestly.
Yeah.
But that counter drop, like the tank sieging up in the natural of INnoVation, and the fact that he didn't quite micro his tank on the aggressive side either, like didn't save it into the medevac, that was actually a bit of a blunder. And it's got to be said, Time is doing so well in these little micro fights and skirmishes, and you know he's here to stay. He's here to attack with even more here.
Well, Time gonna bring everything up to the top side. Marine, Cyclone, and a tank will get ready to push forward as we have got a little bit of a load up, and tank is gonna siege. So looking okay. Marine's gonna jump into the main base and start to put some damage out. I mean, this is the position that INnoVation felt like he was maybe gonna get initially to work on, and now he's gonna lose his reactor.
He certainly is. He was very patient about this, though. And Time, this was a sick pull away. You saw that tank turret trying to fire, and it just didn't. That could have been very, very gnarly. But Time realizing, oh, you've got 2 Ravens, I've only got 1. Maneuvers around. What advantage does Time actually have? His army is actually very good. And INnoVation, look at this.
Yeah, this was amazing for Time. He's out-positioned INnoVation. He's expecting him out around the right side, and Time is here. Well, he's sieged up for the natural, so INnoVation could maybe continue across. If he tries to get back, it's dangerous. I guess INnoVation still has a lot of Raven energy to put to use, and that's what I'm maybe most afraid of is Time will go for the main base. The tanks here from Time don't know what to do. He's just not expecting INnoVation's army to come from this angle.
I actually like that Time moved away there with his tanks, but yeah, even though INnoVation was in a bit of a gnarly spot there, he absolutely made the most of that with the Ravens kind of pouncing on the army, and it was like flanking the flank almost. It was very nicely handled by both of them.
I've got Time coming back in, Cyclone a few Marines just to get him. He's got Stim as well. Wow, he's got Stim versus Stim just on, so that's a pretty big deal. An order turret still available will be big as the Cyclone gets the Raven at least and then lifts up and gets out of there. Wow, okay, nice little save on there on the Cyclone. His Time is really fighting for everything. Ravens are such a big pickup as well because they are useful throughout the entirety of this game.
Yeah, and the big deal there as well is INnoVation actually went for the 3 Raven build. Time only going for 1 and then switching to air, so he's still got that air superiority here that we see with lots of Vikings out, whereas INnoVation lost 2 of his Ravens.
Wow. This is getting very interesting. So upgrades are going to be pretty even if Time starts his right away. He doesn't have the gas actually, so INnoVation will open up a little bit of an upgrade advantage on 1-1. Obviously still behind on Stim for a while, which means he'll be behind combat shields. But I don't think Time's necessarily looking to get anything done. I think this is very much so a case of get your 3rd bases up. Maybe you could go with the Viking kind. I just saw 6 Vikings is obviously huge, right? So maybe some potential there.
So he's got the Viking lead. He's also getting Liberator, and he's going to have combat shield before his opponent. Even though INnoVation's got a bit of a supply lead, we all know what like that little air push can do, especially with tank support and stuff. It's definitely going to be a little bit worrisome for INnoVation because we've all seen that Time is very good when it comes to just microing.
Yeah, absolutely. His Liberator's here, so much of this is obviously playing that Viking Liberator combo. The fact that INnoVation has 0 Vikings is terrifying because it just feels like from this point, you can bully your way into really, very much so, just a winning position. Let's see what INnoVation can do. He has now got Stim, but he's going to be without combat shields. It's a little bit of a problem. There's not really any Marines here, though, for Time. Only a couple.
Oh, that is a sick Matrix. Buys him quite a bit of time, but time for what, really?
Counterattack.
Is he going to do it? He is doing it. That is quite a lot of Marines that Time has to appreciate. But his Marines are worse than his opponents. I mean, INnoVation's doing all they can to buy time here, but look at this. Nice pull on that bunker. Tank on the high ground as well. I think Time's in great shape.
Yeah, he's going to hold. He's pushing back the 3rd CC. It's up and flying away right now, being chased by SCVs that can't keep chasing. They have to run through a liberation zone. SCVs need to come repair the 3rd base. Time, no! What have you done? You've turned away. Oh my god.
But how much health does it have? How much health
does it have? Like 10? Oh my god. He could have killed the 3rd. This is a huge opportunity. Both players losing 12 SCVs here.
They are certainly, but Time still got his 3rd landed and planted. Lots of SCVs dying to this drop in the main, though, but Time's moving forward aggressively. The Raven gets nothing done. The tanks are all sieged up for Time. INnoVation gets the wraparound. What are the Vikings doing? They're taking out all the medevacs.
They can land, maybe.
They can land, but they're just flying there.
Yeah, they should have landed sooner if they were going to land. There's a Liberator in the back of INnoVation's natural that's taken down a whole bunch of SCVs as well. Time lands in the main base. That'll work for the moment. The Liberator gets chased to the main. He's killing Marines off as they spawn. And Time comes out with a huge army lead, a little bit behind on workers, but his third in position could still make something of that.
This game just went super duper crazy. INnoVation, after losing 26 SCVs and killing something around 20, he actually has a little bit of a SCV lead here. The thing is, he's behind in medevacs, tanks, and marines, and definitely Vikings. This game is not comfortable for INnoVation at all, and Time, if he realizes, and I think he does, that he's in a decent position, he's just going to march across the map and make INnoVation's life even worse.
I love how INnoVation knows where these Vikings are, and they still find the chance to kill a medevac. Time has great info on what exactly is going on. He's going to try and land these Vikings. Oh, I feel like he just gave up his air control for maybe not that much gained. In the middle of the map, we are going to see a fight breaking out as INnoVation. Tell you what, he never got combat shield, so he's going to get wrecked in that fight. And now he's got a tank to defend with, and this time the third will go down. Time gets the 2-0 over